Hello there. So today I'm going to show you how to change the speakers out on a 2002 Silverado 1500 LT. In this case it's an HD, but this will apply to any LT from this era. So I'm going to show you the back. Oops, sorry, don't drop the camera. I'm going to show you the back ones as well as the front on this side, and it's the same on the other side. I already did that so that I would know what I'm doing. So it's pretty easy. A lot of people say, oh, you're going to need all these special tools. You know, you need to go buy this, $20 toolkit from Amazon. I had a few people tell me that. That's not actually true. You don't really need anything special other than probably what you already have around your house. So let's get right into it. The first thing you need to do is just get this out. You just kind of pull up on it. There's a little clip in like this corner and this corner and in the back there, and you just kind of want to pull the top out. There's a clip there, you can see that. There's another clip there, and then you just kind of pull it up. Oops, I hope I had that in the camera. And then you just pull it back, and then you just pull it up, and then pull the door handle out of the way, and then you just slide it up and out. And you can see the clips there. You don't want to break those if you don't have to. So just keep all this in a spot where you're not going to miss it. I'm not sure why this is empty. Anyway, so there's the door panel. Now, you don't need to take this screw out, so don't just go taking every screw out that you see. I will tell you what screws to take out. So, the first screw is in there. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe. I'll get a flashlight in a moment. On the back and on the front, it's the same way. There's a screw right there, as you can see. The other screw on the back is in this bottom corner here, as you can see. It's the same screw as up there. That's the only things holding this door on. But before you start doing that, let's get to some other parts. On the front, the screw is actually under this panel here. I will show you how to get that out without destroying it. This is not, by the way, from me trying to get this apart. This is accidentally me tearing it up with some other things at a different time. Anyway, let's get right into it. So some of the tools you will need, I've got them in here, is a flathead screwdriver, mostly as like a pry bar. Some people say, well, you need something plastic or something that's not going to hurt it. With this screwdriver, I was able to do everything. The other thing you're going to need is something to get those screws out. I'm using a drill in this case. And then for these speakers that I'm putting in, these are 6.5-inch speakers. So the back ones will go in on the default mounts. The front ones, we're going to need to drill some new holes. So I've got a drill bit for the correct size for the new screws. You also need a Phillips head in some cases to get certain things out. Also, you might want to get some oil to oil your locks and stuff while you have the door panel off, if you so choose. That is not necessary for this, though. You might also want some pliers just to grab things if you need them. So anyway, let's get started. So I've got the drill. Let's get this door panel off. But before we do that, we need to pry this door lock out. So you just reach in there very gently and easily. Pull that out. You don't want to get aggressive with it and break something. And that's all it is. It's just a nice plastic cover to cover up really what's the lock, which is this thing here. And it's very stiff. That's not what you want. You want it to be easy. So that's why I got the oil that we will use in a moment. So I've just got this extension on the drill, pardon me, so that we can reach in there and get the screw. So that one's out. see if we can get it out all the way. There we go. Now let's get this one. Come on, get on there. There we go. There we go. That should be all that's holding this door panel on. So now, don't just yank it off. You have to lift up. You can see it lifted up. And now the door panel will come off. Now, be careful, as there are wires attached back here, as well as some wires attached to the courtesy light, as they call it. And you want to be careful not to harm those wires. And so you're just going to, let's see if I can get in here to see it. You're just going to wiggle this until the bulb comes out. You can see it's just got, come on camera, it's just got like a little clip on each side, so when you wiggle it, it will come out. So that's the courtesy light. Right here is a little clip. You're just going to want to push in. This is where you might want the screwdriver to pry that out. And then I'm just going to pull it out, down and out. I don't think there's a way. Maybe the door handle. Well, you can't see it, but okay, so I wasn't able to show it, but I just I don't know where the screwdriver went, but I put the screwdriver on this clip here on the inside, pressed down, and then I just grabbed on and wiggled it back and forth in there until it came loose. Now, just hold it by the handle there. You can get this off, so you can see all the wonderful insulation. I don't know why my camera's not focusing right. And everything else. You can also check and see if your cover brackets are in place. You can press those down if they are out of place. And yeah, just generally clean around it. Set it in a spot where it's not going to get nasty. Also, watch out for this plastic bit on the bottom. You can see it bends. So I recommend you clean it this way against something so that it doesn't bend that plastic bit too much. You don't want to break that off. So now that we've gotten that off, we can access everything we need back here. So this is the culprit. This is the speaker that is not blown, but the bass is messing up, and so it sounds absolutely horrible. I'll have an audio track at some point if you guys want to listen to it to see what they actually sounded like originally. But you can see, I mean, all this is just dry rotted, so it's all just not any good anymore. So you're gonna need a hex head to get these out. I did forget about that originally, because then you use Phillips with the new ones. So just get your toolkit and get a hex head out of it. This particular one, come on, focus camera. This particular one is a little bit too small, but it does work to get them out, and that's all that matters. Man, this thing's not wanting to focus today. Tell you what, I'm gonna stop the video and get another video rolling that hopefully doesn't have this focus issue. Be right back. Okay, we're back, and hopefully the camera will focus. So we're just gonna take that one out, put it in a safe spot, and put the new one in. And away we go. So you can see them, they are just in each corner. Apply good pressure and screw them out, and this one's magnetic, so it will hold it for us, which is very nice. We're going to do that. And the final one. There we go. Now, it should, in theory, just come straight out. However, theory is not always what happens in practice. So, I think we're going to need another flathead, or the flathead, to try to pry this off. Okay. These are glued in the back here. Let's see if I can get the camera focused. There we go. Starting to come. There's the speaker cover. So, just get that. The good news is you won't be needing this anymore with the speakers that I'm putting in at the very least. So we'll just throw that over there out of the way. So here's the old speaker, and as you can see, it's, well, it's seen better days. Let's turn it on real quick. And let's turn it to the back.
If a mansion I ever, I've a mansion over in glory, and my name is on the door, and someday I'll move into it, then be happy evermore.
So it's still making music, but it just sounds horrible. And by the way, this front one, I'm going to turn it to the front. Oops. It's completely blown. That's just the tweeter. That's what the new ones are sounding like. Pretty stinking awesome. So, let's just pull that out and continue where we were. So, needless to say, this does not sound good at all. So now, we just need to pry this out without making a huge mess. So the good news is what you're pressing against is not actually part of the truck. Okay, there we go. So see, yeah, you just had to put enough pressure to pry it up under there. And it may sound horrible, but that's just because it's the old glue. As you can see, there's glue in there that was holding this on. So there we go. So don't worry about it hurting that. Do worry about this cord. So, once again, just take your flathead and press on that. See if I can get it in the camera shot. So anyway, I just pressed where you saw me pressing and pushed until it came out. And here we go. Old speaker is out. Lovely jubbly. But you can see it's just very loose and not corroded, but just wet and messed up. No good anymore. So we'll put that with the other collection of old speakers. And what was the other thing I was going to do? Well, I guess I need to go get the new speaker. But yeah, this is the glue right here, and I would just recommend just, you know, pressing it back on and just leaving it. It's not going to hurt anything. If anything, it'll help seal stuff. The next thing we can do is oil that. So let's go get some oil. If you don't want to see that, just skip a few seconds ahead. Excuse me. To where we're not oiling this. But if you feel like oiling, then stick around and we will do that for a second. So just get some good oil. Don't use WD-40. It's just not really going to do anything for you. So what I do is pull it to one side and then just get your oil and squeeze some onto it, not too much, and then I just work it back and forth to get it good and lubricated. Same thing in the next spot. And then work that back and forth. And same thing for the other ones. So I'm going to go ahead and do these other ones. You just got to stick it through the plastic until you get it done. So I'll be back in a minute. Alright, so I oiled it. I put a little bit right there too on the latch and through there. So hopefully that'll be good enough. Stick that back over that. And there we go. And as you can see, it's working very nice now. That's what you want to see. All right, so next up, we need to get the new speaker. So I'm going to show you what we're putting in today. We're putting in, I got these from, oh, what's it called? Clutchfield. And these are awesome speakers. They're actually in here. The other thing that Clutchfield sent me is this wiring kit. You must get this. This is awesome. Get it out of there. And we will just bring all this with us outside. Let's get it on with. All right, so we'll open the speakers up first. Apologize if there's any weird camera angles or jerks. I'm doing this one-handed, so can't fault me too much. Tripod or anything either to support this with. So here is wiring that you would need if you didn't get this wiring kit. Here's a manual that tells you stuff that we don't really care about what you're doing. And you just pull these pieces of cardboard out. Okay, so here's our new speaker. Here's some new screws. We don't need these. We will need these because the speakers don't work with the original screws. And then there's just some tape here. That we have to do. It's open. So be careful with your new speakers. You don't have to really worry about your old speakers, but you do want to be careful with your new speakers not to touch the frame, that part in there, because if you do, you could bust it and blow your new speakers. And these things, although they were a great deal, I got all of them for $90, they're not cheap. So just be warned to be careful with them. Stay. What's next? Oh, by the way, these covers do come off. This is a 3-way speaker, so you got your tweeter here, and then your big subwoofer there, and all that fun stuff. Next thing we're going to need is this wiring harness. So let me just open this real quick. This wiring harness came for free from Clutchfield when I ordered the speakers. Normally they're $10 a piece. I got both of them for 100% free, along with a manual of how to do this. Okay, got it open. So there's 2 of them in each pack for both speakers that come in the set. So the point of this is to go on the truck. You can see it will meet up quite well with that. This goes on the new speakers here. These are sometimes a little bit of a pain to get on, but they're usually not too bad. So we're just gonna stick the big one on the big part there, and just make sure you're looking at the inside there and trying to get it lined up right. So let's see, maybe I can prop you guys on this box here somehow. There we go. So you guys can see while I have both hands, because this is a 2-handed job. And you just kind of gently, but with force, put it on there. There we go. You don't want to break these off if you can, because that's not going to be fun to fix. So you can see that one's a little crooked, so we'll stick it on there. A little crooked, maybe. Come on now. I said it makes it easier. I didn't say it was easy. Come on. Okay, so I got them both on. Be careful though, because you can bend these, bend the mount. It's not a very sturdy mount. I mean, it's sturdy enough, but it's just not, I mean, it's not made for beating on. Okay, so once again, always be careful. Try to hang on to the speakers by their mounting brackets, etc. Like this. See, I'm hanging on to the metal part, not the plastic, and there you go. So let's try to get these put on. So the first thing you're going to do is plug it in, and let's see if I can prop my phone some way where you guys can see. We're just gonna turn this plug to where it meets up in there. And there we go. So it's plugged in, as you can see. And then we can just set this. Now be careful. This is a magnet, so it will jump around and hit everything that's is metal. So, just gonna set it there while we get our screws. So I'm gonna just set you guys here, and I'm just opening the screws here and getting some out. There's some black plastic tabs that come with this. I suppose that you could slip them on somewhere if need be. However, for this, we don't need them. These will bolt right in to the original mounting brackets, which is absolutely awesome. So we're just gonna stick it in there. Make sure you have your speaker and cover put on in the same manner. And then, whoops, we're gonna grab our drill. Make sure we put in the correct head. What did I put? Where did I put this Phillips head? I think I left it over here. I'm gonna try if I can to edit out some of this stuff that's just fiddling to make the video as short as possible for you guys, so that you're not sitting here watching me look for a Phillips head. You didn't come here to watch me look for a Phillips head, you came here to see how to fix your speakers, not how to be incompetent at making a YouTube video. Rightio. So, oops. So, I'm sorry for the horrible camera angles, but I'm just trying to get this put in. Let's see, maybe if I just set you guys up here again, that will be good enough. Come on. Stay. Why won't you stay? How did I get you to stay a minute ago? I guess like that, maybe? There we go. So the first screw's in, and they don't quite line up perfectly, so be warned of that. So you just kind of get it at the right angle going into the hole, and then don't screw them all the way in until you have all of them put in. And the best thing to do is just to look around. Let's see, I should try to show you that. So the best thing to do is try to look around the corner here, and you can see the hole. I might be able to do this one-handed if I can get the drill. There you go. And just kind of angle it up. You can see that. Focus, camera, for crying out loud. Angle it up, you can see it's not entirely straight. And yeah. Maybe you guys are looking at the right part. I honestly cannot tell. I'm gonna hope it is, and we're gonna continue on. At the very least, you guys can look at my ugly head. There we go. Okay, let me get my hand out of the way. So now, you can just apply good even pressure and screw each one in. there you go. So now it's in. Now, before you start putting all the paneling back on, you want to check and see if the speaker's working. Very important. So, just get some tunes playing and balance it to the side that you just put in, and then balance it. What the crap? Oh shoot, hang on. Okay, crisis averted. I thought I had completely blown something out, but it is all good. So I've got it faded to the speaker, and you can hear the lovely tones. Life on this earth can be hard to bear. Sin and temptation are hiding everywhere. Just hold to the gospel word and do not fear. He'll lift the chains that bind you here. Okay, excellent. So, yeah, the point with that is you want to check and make sure your speaker's working before you put everything back on. So we're just going to set the drill out of the way. And then, yeah, so this is on. So we need to go get the door panel. You can check and see if any of these plastic bits need like repositioned back over where they were. And yeah, let's go get the door panel. And this back one will be done, and then we can go on to the front one. The back is the main one I wanted to show you guys because it's a little bit, it's hard to find YouTube videos of it because a lot of the ones are not for the crew cab version. So once again, you can just kind of set it up here, and you're going to want to plug in your switch same way it was. You can hear it just click in there like it was, and then you're going to want to put in your courtesy light up here. Just line it up and just kind of wiggle it back into place the way you put it in. So there you go. Next we're just gonna put the door in place, and I recommend you lift up and then push everything in and then slide it down. There you go. The door hand is back in place. Now, once again, before you go bolting everything back on, you want to make sure that everything you've just done is working. So, sorry. So we're just gonna, wow. Okay. Apparently my truck battery is now dead. That's great. Yeah, look at that. 9 volts. I don't think it's because of these speakers, but yeah. Anyway, the main thing we're wanting to look at is whether that light's working. So I reckon the battery has enough juice left in it to power the lights. So that one's on, this one's on, and wow. The battery is seriously dying right now. So we'll have to deal with that in a little bit. I guess we'll ride to town in style with new speakers and go get a new battery. Oh, Lord have mercy. Could this day get any funner? Right. Well, where were we? Oh, yeah, we were putting everything back on. So we'll just go ahead and put this on. The red faces back. Make sure you do that. The main thing is to make sure you line your little thingy up so that it's inside the lock. And just press it in until it's clicking. And there you go. It's working beautifully. You could oil some of this apparatus. Etc. While you're at it. It's not necessary, but you certainly can. And you also get oil all over you, so have a paper towel handy. So I'll just set this here to be ready for the next one. That feels nice. Okay, so let me go get a paper towel. Hang on. All right, so I'm back. The truck is now charging. And yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna take the Phillips head off and put, no, we don't need that. Okay. Put this one back in so we can put these nice long screws back. So remember, one is up here, somewhere in there. Come on. Fingers work. There we go. So that one's in. Now we're just gonna put those in. By the way, I've got the drill set on 5 for the auto, whatever you want to call that, auto stop, I guess. And then you just put this back in. Sometimes you have to fiddle around with it for a minute. Sometimes you have to angle it until it lines up. All right, So that's done, and we're just gonna get the handle cover and just put it back on there. Sometimes it's a little bit of a pain to get it to line up, but once it's on, it's on. There we go. And then you can just gather everything up to move to the front. As you can see, everything looks great, except for the door's a little dirty. We'll need to clean that later. So now to the front, and this is where the fun begins, because we're gonna actually have to drill in new speaker mounts. But that's no problem. So like I said, you don't actually need these. As you can see, those right there filled in for us. One thing you can do is make sure that everything is working good. Now that you put it back on, you can feel the door, make sure it feels solid, and get in. Oh yeah, that was a lot easier. Oh yeah, that feels awesome. Excellent. That'll be great. I'm sure my niece will appreciate the ability to get in and out of the truck easier. All right, so next, we're gonna do this one. Just move the bounty paper towels out of the way. So this one's gonna be requiring a little bit more hands-on. Once again, just fill this in up. Until it comes off. There's that. Make sure you didn't bend any of this when you did that. So there's that. Next up, we're gonna need to take that screw out that I mentioned. And just set it in a safe spot. Now, you may be thinking, okay, so where's the other screw? Well, it's not down here. It's actually behind here. So the easiest way is just to gently apply pressure right there without damaging it too much. And then you just pull it up and it slides right out. In this case, the clamp here came out. There's the clip. So we'll have to fix that in a moment. Then we will pull this. You're just going to press in on that right there. And then just wiggle it until it comes loose. And then you just set that over there. And there you go. You're going to have to take this out as well as that. So let's go ahead and do that. So once again, just apply a little bit of pressure until that comes off. Pretty easy. And same on this, just to apply pressure. But I will say I prefer to get this off once the door's off, the panel's off, and I'll show you why in a minute. So now I'm going to try to get this out, so just bear with me for a minute. Let's see, maybe you guys can see on the dash here. There we go. There we go. Just pulled it right out. And now I'm gonna look and see. So that's the way it was. And we're just gonna set it back down in there. The way it should be. There we go. Good deal. So yeah, the next screw is right there. I'm just gonna pull it out and don't lose it. You might want to, since you'll have two hands and I don't, just grab it so you don't lose it down in the door panel somehow. And then the next thing is just to lift it up. Oh, no. You gotta take this off. So this just has a clip right there and at the top. So you can apply a little pressure. Until these two clips come out. You can see what they look like here. Same kind of clip. You just want to apply a nice little bit of pressure. You don't want to scrape anything up. So now that you've got that off, now you can just lift the door up. You're supposed to be able to now. Hang on. Okay. Yeah. So just lift it up and out it comes. Now you'll have to watch out for the handle there. And now you're loose. So you're gonna want to watch the wires and such. Make sure you don't harm anything. And now we need to unplug everything. So this is the tweeter speaker right here. Let's see, is there a way I can prop you guys like that? Maybe if I don't move too much. I'm just going to press in right there and unplug it like so. And then up here, you can see why I like to wait. You can see it's just this big thing, and from the inside you can easily press it through. Pretty easy. And now you just pull it out and then just feed it back through like so. And then before you get carried away, don't forget about your light down here. Same as the other ones, you're just going to reach in there, feel the mount, and just wiggle it until it comes out, or you can just press in until the whole mount comes out. You can just press in right here and it'll all come out like so. So now we got the door panel off. So we're just going to, actually I'm going to dump it. Dump anything out of the door. So now that's back in. That's also, you just pry at that corner right there if you want to replace that light with an LED, for example. Again, be careful with the black plastic at the bottom. And here's the time when you can fix any of these that are loose. You can just bend them back so that the cover stays on good. Here's the tweeter speaker. So if you want to pull this out and replace it somehow with another new speaker, this is how you would do that. You would just pull all these tabs out and pull the speaker panel back off, and then you would just replace your tweeter. Looks like it's broken, if you ask me. Is it? It is. The mount, it's broken. Very. Oops, what did I just bend? Nice. I just bent a some kind of electrical piece there. That's nice, but that's okay because we won't be plugging that one back in, simply because it's basically blown and we won't need it. So there's your heated seat controller and whatnot. But yeah, if you wanted to plug in another tweeter speaker, this is where you would do that. Now, let's continue with the fun. So this one does not have any screws holding it in, and it's instead just this big clip at the top. So let's see, maybe I can set you right here. Can you see there? Wish there was a way I could wedge you guys where you could see. Well, anyway, you just press this down like so, and then I'm just going to wedge in behind here with the screwdriver while I press and pull it out. So I will show you that I got it out in a second. I will set you guys up here so maybe you can see a little bit of the action. So I'm just going to press down with the flathead, maybe not that hard, until it pushes down, and you can see it is coming out. All right, now I can show you guys again. So once again, I just had a press down with my finger and pried in with the flathead, and then it just comes out. And then the bottom just has two little tabs holding it on there. So that's how you get this speaker out. And then you just press that down and pull it out. Again, can't really do it with one hand. So there we go. So I accidentally ripped the speaker cover a little bit, but that's okay. We don't care. This is not a good speaker. And if you are curious as to the condition of your speaker, you can just pry this black cover off, and there it is. So you notice this one doesn't have a tweeter in the speaker like the rear ones do. So as you can see, it's pretty foiled, pretty curled up, pretty foiled, pretty curled up. And yeah, it just does not work anywhere. Oh, I'm bleeding. Isn't that nice? Usually happens when you're doing this kind of thing. So once again, we're done with that speaker. You don't need that cover or the mount or anything, because the new speakers, now if you're getting speakers that will fit, you may need that cover, but this does not have, my new speakers will not fit. So what we're going to have to do is use the drill and drill new holes. So I'm going to go ahead and oil this while thinking about it. Once again, just put some right there, slide it in, out, there you go. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, we're back, and I think I'm fully prepared this time. So I did grease this, it's working great, so is that. Anyway, let's get back to it. So, as I mentioned earlier, this speaker will not fit inside here. It will not. So what we're gonna have to do is drill some holes. But first, I'm gonna try to show you again how to put these on. So one good thing is to try to look at where this is going to be on the door and try to line it up so it looks like it's going to be mounting up like that. And so we're going to want to put them this way. Okay, so we're going to put the little one on first. Try to grab it in a good spot, and we're just going to put it in there. And I can see that I'm lined up. I'm just going to press it in. On there, you want it to be straight. Okay, I don't remember where we were. I got a phone call. But we got this put on, so that's good. Now, what we're going to need to do, I'm just going to shove that down there out of the way. We're going to have to drill into the metal of the truck here to mount this. And that's perfectly fine because, you know, it's not going to hurt anything. This is going to be on the inside of the truck. It's not going to rust. It's not going to mess anything up. And if you ever do replace these speakers with new 6.5s, like the ones I'm putting in, then you'll already have drill holes ready to go. And it's really just prepping this truck for having more, speakers put in it in the future. I did scratch it a tiny bit there with the screwdriver handle, so be careful of that when you're doing it. Obviously, once again, this is on the inside, so it shouldn't rust, but the less scraping you have to do, the better. So the way you want to do this is on these speakers, there's a lot of mounting holes, but these have holes on the case where you can do it. So that's where you want to hold it. So I'm just going to carefully hold the speaker, and what you're going to do is put the speaker. Oh, see, that's the magnetic thing. You're going to want to place the speaker in the door like that. So then you're going to want to hold it up like so. Now what you can do is take this cover off and remember where it lines up. So you can line the bottom up with the speaker, and you can see it fits on there nice. And then you're going to want to look and see, okay, it's this hole right here. Double check it. That's the old saying, measure 3 times and cut once, right? So it's going to be this one and this one for the top. I just realized I wasn't pointing at it. So it's this one and this one. And then the bottom is going to be, I believe, this one. Once again, before you go drilling, check it. I'm just going to put it back on there. And you can see it's there. Yes. So it's this one on the bottom and this one on the top. You can kind of tell because they line up. Now, here's the other thing. You can't just set it in here like this. You want it to be straight. So just hold it straight. You can tell by this logo here that it's straight. And then you're going to want to line this up. So see, if I have it down here, we're not going to be hitting anything. If I push it up, that's good, but what about the bottom? It seems okay. So what I would like to do is to wiggle it around and see where the middle is. So it looks like about there. And then same thing side to side. So it looks like it's about there. Then you're going to hold it like that. And then you're going to take the drill. Let's see. Is there a way I can prop you guys? Okay, that's not good. There. Maybe you guys can kind of see. Come on. There, stay there. So you're going to get your drill. And once you've got it lined up where you want it, you're just going to take it and you're just going to drill a little mark, okay? Don't drill it all the way. Drill a little mark in each corner And that way you've got a little mark on the metal. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You may or may not be able to see it, but I'm going to do it. And you just want it right in the middle. Like that. Okay. So now I'm going to move you guys out of the way up here. Maybe you guys can see. Oops, let's not move the seat. Ow. Just pierced myself with the bit of the drill. Make sure you got the other two spots lined up. Oops. When you're drilling. And then you're just going to take it out very carefully. I recommend you put the cover back on it. And set it down carefully like that. You want to make sure you're not letting anything get in there and press it. So here's the marks I was talking about. So you can see there's one there, focus camera. And then this one went a little awry, but I know that originally, come on, it was right there. So we're just gonna drill a little mark there. You can see the other mark there and the other mark there. So now you're just gonna want to put the drill bit right there and just line it up and drill a nice straight hole. Doesn't have to be super straight since it's not very thick. But it's better to be safe than sorry, right? So I'll be back in a minute when I get the rest of these drilled. All right, so I got the drills done, the holes done. I wish I hadn't scraped that, but it is what it is. So they're all drilled, as you can see. I think they look pretty good, if I do say so myself. Drill did a great job. Now, here's the next part. You're gonna wanna take these screws, and the bit I'm using is not quite big enough, I don't think, but I don't want to use a bigger one than I have to. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to put it in. Now it's tight, as you can see. The drill bit you use may be big enough to where you don't have to do this. However, mine is, so I'm going to do it this way. So I've put it on here. And now I'm going to try to hold the phone where I can see it. So I'm just going to keep the screw straight. And screw it in. And then bring it back out. And I'm going to do that with every single hole. And the reason is so that it's ready for when I've got the speaker in. I don't want to be trying to get the screw lined up once the speaker's in. I want to do this before. So this is just prep work. So I'll be back when I get all the rest of these in like that. You can use the same screw or the different screws. Doesn't really matter. We're back. I've done this on each one. You can see the metal strads there all over everything. I wish it would stop focusing on certain spots, except for when I want it to. Anyway, so the next thing you're going to do is have your screws and drill ready, And we're gonna get the speaker. So, will you stay like this? Is there a way for me to prop this phone where you guys can see what I'm doing? If it would just stay like that, that would be great. You know what? Maybe if I put that. Doesn't seem to be helping really. Let's try this. Tilts it too much. I hate trying to film things sometimes. Come on. Just stay, won't you? Like, seriously, just stay. That's no better, really, than that. Maybe if I just put some weight. There we go. Come on. There. And you're just going to have to look in the corner. That's the best I can do. So frustrating. Anyway, that's all you can see. So hopefully that's enough. So we're gonna get our plug. Yeah, that's decent enough, I hope, for you guys to see. And we're just going to plug it in. Like so. And watch out for the magnet. And just put it on here and line it up. And then we're going to get our first screw and put it through there. Try not to damage anything. Boom. Through the first hole. Once again, don't tighten them all until you have each and every screw in. I recommend doing it kind of like tightening a tire, where you do it each corner. Once you get two in, the others should line up pretty good. That hole turned out to be a little bit off, but it is what it is. The other one I did a lot better on, which is fine by me because it is the driver's side after all. And I set it on one for the auto shut off. And now it's in like Flynn. So now we can double check. Make sure it's working. And I can hear music. So that's good. So that's all we need to know. Now it's time to get all this put back on. So, first thing we're gonna need is, well, the door panel. So let's go get that. Careful. I personally like to hold it right by the door handle because it's obviously a strong part of the door that you're supposed to hang on to. So make sure you don't squish any wires, particularly this bulb. And then I usually set it kind of on the mounts. You can see the white things, they kind of just hold it up. And then tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pop this out so that I can easily put that in. So I'm going to do that. Sorry about that. I just only have so many hands. It's in. So that's good. Next, we're going to make sure this is out of the way. This is the tweeter speaker plug for the tweeter in the door there. We are not going to plug that back in though, because this bottom speaker already has a tweeter, and this one is now kind of messed up. What we are going to do though is get our heat seat mount and stick it up here. Pull it through the door, stick it back that way, and then just push it back in place like so. Now it's time to put the door back on. So we're just going to, there we go, maybe you can get a better view. Just press each part onto there, and then just press down good and firm, and just check both ends to make sure it looks like where it's been rubbing is back in place. Pull that back out, make sure that's accessible, and it's time to put the rest of it back on. So the first thing you should do is put the screws back in, because if you don't do that, then you're going to have to be taking stuff back off. I'm speaking from experience. So we're going to put that screw back on. It's only these two screws holding the door on. Pretty incredible. And sometimes it's easier just to put it on the drill and stick it on there, as long as you don't drop anything. And same thing with this one. Just gonna stick it on there and then get the drill, line it up. Put it in there. Don't over tighten these, they are going into plastic, etc. You don't want to mess it up. Next up, we can put this lock back in. Always look on the other side over there. You can see the red goes to the back. So you don't want it this way, you want it this way. And then just feed in one corner first. You can hear it click there, and then test it. It's working. It's the way it should be. Next up, we're gonna put this back on. And you wanna test this as well. So let's see if there's a way I can prop the phone. Well, I guess I can stick you guys down in there. Maybe like that. Well, anyway, we're just plugging it back in. I guess I can hold the phone now. Yeah. Oh. Well, you know it's working because I just heard it click, even though it wasn't all the way in. So just press it until you feel a good firm click. And then notice these tabs here. They're just going to go into the back there. Let me hold the phone the right way. So you just press that. And then here's where you want to pay attention. You can see where it mounts up underneath there, that tiny little gap. And so you're going to want to make sure that this is lining up to go into that slot. You don't want to mess this up. And so that one's in. And then you just pull that one down. And then you can just, you know, bang it a little bit. Lift up, see if it feels like it's on, and there it is. Don't forget your A-frame panel here. Same thing. Just put the bottom bracket in there first. And then just line that up and that. And then just apply some good even pressure. And there you go. That's back on. And finally, the handle beauty panel. And just stick the back end in first. You might have to pull the handle out a little bit to get that in. And then push that in. And then there's one clip here and then one here. So just push that. And there you go. And apparently, the drill head was still up in there. So I'm glad I found that. Okay, we're done. That's it. The door's back on. And everything looks great. You can tell that's working, and that will be working as well. Look how easy that light works now. That's working great. And now we just clean up our mess and put everything away, and voila, we have new speakers. So let's go ahead and test them out. That sounds awesome.
God be for us? Who can be against us? Who can separate us from?
Wow. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And hope you found this video helpful. Hopefully this will show you how to replace your speakers in your old truck when they're blown. And by the way, one quick note, on the driver's side, there's more buttons over here for all the windows and locks and all that, and the power mirrors, which mine don't work, so maybe I'll have to replace those someday. But anyway, so there will be another plug here, and then that one. This one's a little bit tricky. It's not too bad though. Look up other videos and you will see that one done. But pretty much it's just trying to find the clip. Just search and find the clip, and then you're good to go. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. And now I'm going to go get a new battery before this truck has a seizure. So have a good one, guys. I'll see you next time. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below.